today I want to talk about what I think is possibly the most detrimental symptom in the whole world of PCOS, and that is fatigue. Comment below if you think fatigue is a problem with your PCOS because it's not often talked about, but it is my experience that it's a big problem for us. I'd love to hear you guys speak up and give me some feedback on whether or not you think I'm right. So if you could comment below, that would be amazing. Okay, so I want you to learn how to beat your PCOS fatigue because once you have more energy, it'll be easier to do all the other things you want to do, like lose weight, make a baby, get into shape, get a promotion, you name it. If you're not tired, you're going to do it better. So my first tip, and it's going to seem simple, is to address sleep deprivation. Sleep deprivation can be really sneaky and subtle. In fact, one of my clients who was a personal trainer kept regaining weight after getting in shape for like a vacation or a big event. And we found out after working through my coaching process that fatigue and sleep deprivation was a huge part of her problem. So if you are struggling with just a little bit of sleep deprivation or a lot, anything under sleeping 7 hours a day, I would consider sleep deprivation. What you should do is, my simple step is to first turn off all electronics and stop drinking any alcohol 10 hours before you're supposed to wake up. So if you have 10 hours before you're supposed to wake up where you're unplugged and you're relaxing, that's going to give you time before you have to go to bed, 8 or 9 hours before you wake up, to detox from the day, de-stress, do some good self-care instead of filling all that time with social media and screens and work emails. So that is my number one tip for just getting rid of sleep deprivation. Okay, thing number 2 that could be making you feel fatigue is vitamin B12 deficiency. Now, if you have been on Metformin for a long time, or Metformin and birth control pills, it is likely, highly likely in fact, that you have a B12 deficiency. So you should talk about that with your general practitioner, get a blood test to see where your levels are, and possibly supplement, because one of the main symptoms of low B12 is fatigue. And the third and final is to balance your blood sugars. And that is a big topic all on its own, but both lean and overweight women with PCOS are more likely to have blood sugar problems. So there's some simple things that I can talk to you about right now that you can do to help that. Number 1 is improving your diet by eating meals that incorporate fats, carbohydrates, and proteins in a balanced way. If you look at my show notes, I'll give you a link to a free guide that will help you get started on doing that right away. The other thing is you might want to look into insulin sensitizing supplements. There are a few like NAC, NAC, and inositol, which work very well in helping women with PCOS have better blood sugar and insulin regulation. And the third, and my favorite, is to work out, especially strength training. So those are my 3 primary tips for addressing PCOS fatigue. I'll also leave a link in the comments below to a blog I wrote on this topic as well if you want to go a little bit more in depth. But first and foremost, take care of any sleep deprivation. Even if you're only missing 15 or 20 minutes of sleep a night, if you're below 7 hours of sleep, really 8 even, you should look into addressing sleep deprivation. Number 2, make sure you don't have a vitamin deficiency. A B12 deficiency will show up as fatigue in your life. And number 3, balancing those blood sugars. Girl, it's a process, but you just pick where you think you can start first, whether it's starting with an insulin sensitizing supplement, adjusting your diet, or even starting a workout program. Pick maybe one of those prongs in that 3-prong attack to address blood sugar issues. Okay, so subscribe if you want to hear more about cravings, fatigue, being extra hungry with PCOS. That's what I'm talking about lately. And please comment below if fatigue has been like a thing in your life and you thought it was PCOS or you know it's PCOS.